Who do you think's the best player in the NBA right now?
Myself.
Have you always had that kind of confidence? Because I asked you that question a year ago and you said it was Giannis. So what's given you that confidence?
Now, Jayson Tatum had a lot to say when it comes to being the face of the league and who he considers to be the best player in the league right now. And while it's admirable that he'd choose himself over others, he has yet to deliver a title to Boston and yet to win the league MVP as well. And while he may hold the record for most points scored in a Game 7 or the most points scored in the All-Star game, nobody needs a reminder about how Tatum and the Celtics got torched and blown to bits in the 2022 NBA Finals after leading the series 2-1. Safely put, with the stats and footage in front of us, Jayson Tatum just isn't that guy. At least not now. But the fact that this is a player who is just 25, has a championship contending roster to fuel his title ambitions, has already made the NBA Finals, and is without a doubt a spectacular performer, is he speaking some degree of truth by putting himself in the best player debate? Or are we being too harsh on him? Let's discuss. As it stands, Jayson Tatum is in his 7th season in the NBA and just a little less than 500 games old, having played 491 games at the time of this video. And despite his points per game and rebounds average certainly boasting of MVP quality, The Athletic rightly pointed out while referencing not just his 2022 NBA Finals loss, but his overall quality as a playmaker as well. Tatum had grown into a good enough playmaker to run the offense, but not to go all the way. He had to learn to get comfortable playing slower to manipulate the defense and dominate with his physicality. For a player who has struggled to work against double teams and is yet to become the brains of a franchise on the court, staking the claim to be the best in the business. And that too without a championship does seem like a bit of a stretch now, doesn't it? While some might say that there is a certain immaturity in what Tatum has said, the world also needs to look at how his idea of winning a title might just solidify his claim into being called as the face of the league. And part of the reason why it makes sense is because someone like LeBron James, or even Kevin Durant for that matter, did not win an NBA championship in their first 8 seasons, with LeBron winning it in Season 9 and KD in Season 10, and that too with teams that were different than the ones that had drafted them. The criticism around Tatum is that he has a roster around him which has the potential to be champions, and the idea that he was drafted to a #1 seed, but the fact that he lost teammates along the way like Gordon Hayward, Kyrie Irving, and even the likes of Kemba Walker, who didn't even play 60 games a season in his 2 seasons at Celtics, one can at least contest the idea that Tatum, despite having talent around him, never really had a super team to work with. And when you compare Tatum with his contemporaries, be it someone like Luka Doncic, Trae Young, or even Giannis Antetokounmpo, the only difference is that Giannis has won 1 title in 2021, and over the last 2 seasons, even Milwaukee has struggled quite a fair bit, despite his personal statistics and dominance on the court. And then there's the likes of Joel Embiid, who hasn't even made it to the conference finals yet, or someone like Nikola Jokic, who stays away from the spotlight at perhaps every possible occasion. Tatum looks like the only superstar who, with a championship, will at least have the credentials to walk the walk, because he can certainly talk the talk, and well, as much as Shannon Sharpe would have you believe, we certainly don't think that Jayson Tatum needs to be married in order to become the face of a sporting league.
What about relationship status? Magic and Bird was married. LeBron was in a relationship with Savannah. How do we look at that? Because when we look at presidential candidates, we look at candidates, we want them to be secure. We want them to be foundational pieces.
As long as Tatum respects people of all ages and genders, we think he'll be fine. There is a palpable tension in the air, and Jayson Tatum has surely ruffled some feathers, but with LeBron finally coming close to retirement, these debates were bound to happen, sooner or later. But will Tatum be the guy who strong-arms himself into the conversation of the face of the league, or will his accolades do the talking on his behalf? Guess we'll find out. And on that note, we come to the end of this video. Do make sure you like it, hit that subscribe button to join our growing community, and let us know in the comments if you think that Jayson Tatum will deliver a championship to Boston and stake his claim for being the face of the NBA. And we will see you in the next one.